Have you ever spent $25 on a plastic restorer, applied it exactly as directed, and watched it fade back to gray within a few weeks? If you have ever tried fixing faded trim on your car, you already know that feeling. I got tired of it, so I stopped buying products and started running tests instead. 4 methods. Same car, 30 days. And after 30 days, only one actually held, and it cost $3. Stay with me, because the method that failed fastest is the one every mechanic recommends without hesitation. And what happened at day 15 with the most popular DIY trick is something you need to see before you touch your trim again. Before we get into it, if you are here for real experiments with tracked data instead of product opinions, subscribe right now and tap the bell. That is exactly what this channel does every week. Now let me show you the problem, because understanding it changes how you think about every restorer you have ever used. Look at this trim, completely faded, chalky gray. The kind of surface that makes a clean car look neglected no matter what else you do. If your car looks like this right now, here is what is actually happening. The black plastic trim on your vehicle is made from thermoplastic olefin. At the factory, it has oils embedded throughout the surface layer. Those oils give it that deep black color and slight sheen you see on a new car. UV radiation breaks those oils down every single day. Your car sits outside. As they deplete, the surface turns porous and dry and starts scattering light instead of absorbing it. That is where the gray comes from. The plastic is not damaged. The oils are just gone. Every restoration product is trying to do one thing: put those oils back, seal the surface, or both. Whether a $3 product does that job as well as a $25 product is exactly what 30 days of data answers. And the answer might surprise you. Here is how I set the test up. I used a 2011 SUV with factory black plastic trim faded uniformly across every panel. I divided the driver's side door trim into 4 sections with painter's tape. 1 method per section, same panel, same sun, same rain, same temperature every single day. The only variable was the method. I tracked every section at day 1, day 7, day 15, and day 30 with photos under identical lighting. I also ran a water bead test at every checkpoint. Water dropped onto the surface tells you immediately whether the restoration is holding or failing. By day 7, that test was already showing something in one section that changed the entire result. Keep watching, because that moment is coming, and you will not see it coming either. Method 1. The $3 Restorer. A lightweight mineral oil blend available at any hardware store for about $3. 2 thin coats with a foam applicator, 5 minutes between coats. Simple, straightforward, no special equipment, no cure time, no waiting around. I applied the first coat, and within 30 seconds, the section went from chalky gray to deep black. Not slightly darker, deep black. The kind of result that makes you stop and look twice, because the difference between the treated section and the untreated section right next to it was visible from across the garage. Water dropped onto the surface immediately, beat it up, and rolled off cleanly. The surface had a slight natural sheen. Not greasy, not wet looking, just restored. If you have ever used one of these products, you know exactly that first application feeling. It looks so good on day 1 that most people assume the job is done and never check back. That assumption is exactly what this test was designed to challenge. Because the question is never day 1. The question is always what it looks like 3 weeks later when the sun has been hitting it every afternoon and the temperature has been cycling up and down through every night. I photographed the section, covered the adjacent sections to keep them clean, and moved on. But I kept watching this one carefully because the $3 price point makes the 30-day result. The most important number in this entire experiment. If it holds, the value case is obvious, and if it fades, the data explains exactly why. Method 2. The $25 professional detailer product. Silicone polymer blend, UV absorbers, synthetic oil base. The kind of thing sold at specialty auto shops with premium packaging and a label that uses the word permanent more than once. Designed and marketed specifically for plastic trim restoration by people who spend their professional lives working on vehicles. Application exactly as directed. Thoroughly clean surface, single thin coat applied with a dedicated applicator pad, buff to a natural matte finish, then a mandatory 24-hour cure period before any water exposure. I followed every instruction precisely because I wanted the product to have every possible advantage going into the test. The day 1 color result was the best of all 4 methods. Deeper black than the $3 product, more uniform across. The entire section, and the water beading at day 1 was excellent. Tight beads that rolled off immediately with no absorption anywhere across the treated area. Looking at that section on day 1 with the $25 product, I would have told you confidently that the extra cost was justified. The difference in color depth was visible. The surface looked professionally restored. Based on day 1 alone, it looked worth every cent of the price difference. Then, day 7 arrived. Things changed. I checked it closely. And that is when I noticed something strange. something the label did not prepare me for, and something I want to describe carefully before drawing any conclusion from it. Method 3. Petroleum jelly. $2 for a jar, large enough to treat every plastic surface on a full-size truck. This is the one that circulates endlessly in car forums and Facebook groups. The one your neighbor swears by. The one someone's uncle has been using for 20 years and will defend passionately in any online comment section. There is some real science behind it. Petroleum jelly is a semi-solid mixture of mineral oils and microcrystalline wax that does temporarily restore surface oils to faded plastic and bring the color back. The key word there is temporarily, and how temporary is exactly what I needed to find out. I applied a thin layer to the test section with a clean cotton cloth, worked it into the surface with circular pressure, and buffed off as much of the excess as I could. Day 1 result was noticeably greasier in appearance than either of the first two methods. The color came back. The section was clearly darker than untreated plastic, but the surface had a wet sheen rather than the natural matte black of properly restored trim. It looked like you had just oiled the plastic rather than restored it. In a photograph, it looked fine. In person, in direct sunlight, it looked slightly off. I noted the observation, documented it in the photo log, and kept watching. At day 15, this section produced the specific observation I mentioned at the very start of this video, the one I genuinely had not seen properly documented anywhere before running this test. That observation is coming, and if you are thinking about using petroleum jelly on your car trim, it matters practically enough that you need to hear it before you open that jar. Method 4, WD-40, applied directly to the plastic. I know what you're thinking right now, and I thought the same thing before I started this test, but here's the reality. Walk into any independent mechanic shop in America and ask how to fix faded plastic trim in WD-40 comes up more than any dedicated restorer. Not from detailing professionals, from general repair mechanics who work on cars every day and have seen this problem on thousands of vehicles. The reasoning they give makes a certain amount of sense. WD-40 contains light petroleum-based oils that can temporarily penetrate the surface of faded plastic and replace some of the depleted oil content, the same basic mechanism that dedicated restorers use. I applied it to the test section with a clean cloth, let it soak into the surface for 5 minutes, and buffed off the excess with a dry cloth, exactly the way mechanics describe the process. Day 1 result. Reasonable. More visible color improvement than I expected from a product that was never designed for this application. The section was noticeably darker than the untreated baseline and water beaded slightly on the surface. Not as tightly as the dedicated restorer sections, but present. Better than expected going in. Then the clock started, and I gave all 4 sections identical conditions for the next 30 days. Day 7. This is where it started falling apart for 3 of the 4 methods, and where the experiment started producing data that actually meant something. The $3 restorer at day 7, still holding, nearly identical to day 1 across the entire section. The water bead test was still performing cleanly with no degradation visible. Nothing unexpected from this section at 7 days. The color was consistent, the surface looked natural, and if you had seen it without knowing what day it was, you would have assumed it was freshly applied. Moving on. The $25 product at day 7, this is where the first real twist happened. I checked the treated section closely and found a thin white haze forming along the outer edges of the treated area. Not visible in normal overhead lighting, not visible in standard photographs, but clearly present when I held a flashlight at a low angle across the surface. The kind of lighting that reveals surface texture and coating irregularities that disappear under direct overhead light. The silicone polymer coating was showing early signs of separation at the edges, most likely caused by the thermal cycling stress from the panel heating up in afternoon sun and cooling overnight. The bond between the silicone coating and the plastic surface underneath was beginning to break down at the perimeter where that stress is most concentrated. The center of the section still looked genuinely excellent at day 7. Deep color, good water beading, no visible issues. But the edges were telling a different story, and I was not yet sure how far that edge behavior would progress over the remaining 3 weeks. I documented it carefully and kept watching. I did not expect this from a $25 product. That is the honest reaction I had standing in the driveway looking at that section through a flashlight. The petroleum jelly section at day 7, road dust and fine grit had accumulated on the surface and was visibly sticking to the still tacky, greasy texture of the treated area. In direct afternoon sunlight, the section looked darker than the surrounding untreated trim, but not for the right reason. The grease was holding particulate contamination against the surface, and what looked like good color in a quick glance was actually a dirty surface. The WD-40 section at day 7, this is where it failed. 60% of the day 1 color improvement was already gone by day 7. The light oil formulation had evaporated from the surface through heat exposure, and 7 days of direct sun had pulled most of the remaining oil back out of the plastic. The section was noticeably grayer than day 1. Water bead test, almost nothing. Whatever protective value the WD-40 had delivered on day 1 was essentially gone at day 7, day 15. The petroleum jelly observation I specifically mentioned at the start of this video. When I checked this section at the 15-day mark, I found something worth documenting that I had not seen clearly described in any DIY plastic care content I had researched before running this test. The recessed channel where the plastic trim piece meets the painted door skin, a narrow gap that runs along the entire perimeter of the trim piece, had developed a visible oily residue from petroleum jelly that had migrated out of the plastic surface during the heat cycles of the previous 2 weeks. Here is the practical reason this matters for your car specifically. Plastic trim panels on a vehicle parked outside in summer can reach surface temperatures well above what the surrounding air temperature suggests. At those elevated temperatures, petroleum jelly, which has a relatively low melting point, softens from a semi-solid to a more fluid state. When it softens, it moves. It flows toward whatever adjacent surface is available. On this particular vehicle, with its dark-colored bodywork, the migration was subtle and only clearly visible under close inspection with direct lighting. On a lighter-colored vehicle, white, silver, light gray, or any light paint color, that same migration would produce a visible oil stain on the painted surface that would require a dedicated degreasing solvent to remove completely and might require multiple applications to clear fully. That is a real practical consequence worth knowing before you apply petroleum jelly to any trim piece that sits adjacent to painted bodywork on your car. I documented it, photographed it from multiple angles, and continued tracking all 4 sections through to the 30-day mark. Day 30. After 30 days, only one actually held, and it cost $3. Here are the exact results. The $3 restorer held approximately 75% of its day, one color improvement, some fading in the highest sun areas, but dramatically better than baseline, and the water bead test still showing results. For $3 and 5 minutes of application, that durability is hard to argue with. The $25 product, the white haze had spread to cover about 30% of the treated area in normal lighting by day 30. In those zones, the surface looked worse than faded plastic because the failing coating was scattering light inconsistently. In the remaining 70% where it held, the color was still excellent. But 30% failure coverage at 30 days is a significant result at this price point. Based on this test, the cost to durability ratio did not favor the premium product. The petroleum jelly section, surface contamination, uneven color, oil migration concern at the panel edges, the least consistent result of the 4 methods under these conditions. The WD-40 section, back to baseline, completely back to chalky gray after 30 days. The light oil had fully evaporated. I didn't expect it to hold long, but I did not expect it to disappear entirely within 30 days. Here is the practical summary from 30 days on this specific vehicle under consistent conditions. The $3 restorer delivered the best cost to durability ratio. 75% of day 1 color held at 30 days, no contamination, no migration, 5-minute application. The $25 product delivered the best day 1 result, but showed coating separation in 30% of the area by 30 days, a result that affects the value calculation at that price. The petroleum jelly method produced surface contamination and oil migration adjacent to the painted door skin, a practical risk worth knowing before you use it on your car. The WD-40 method delivered about 1 week of improvement before returning to baseline. These results may vary by climate and plastic condition, but the 30-day data from this test suggests the gap between a $3 and $25 plastic restorer is harder to justify than the labels imply. Drop a comment and tell me which result surprised you most. Was it the $25 product showing that coating separation at day 7? The petroleum jelly migrating onto the adjacent paint surface? The WD-40 lasting only a week? Or the $3 solution holding at 30 days? Tell me below. I read every single comment, and your answers shape what gets tested next. And if you know someone who is about to spend $25 on a plastic restorer for their car, share this video with them right now. 30 days of tracked results is more useful than any product description ever written. Subscribe, because next week I'm testing 4 methods on oxidized car paint, faded clear coat that body shops charge $200 to correct. And the early data on my test panels is already producing a result I did not predict. That one is up next week, and you do not want to miss it.